ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's me again. Some of you are most probably thinking, somebody take that fucking phone away from him. He's constantly on the fucking thing, constantly doing things to try and better and enlighten the world that we're in. I was talking earlier on in my last video about nonces, paedophile hunters, and protecting your children from what's out there, the worst that is out there. Brings me back to thinking, my parents, computers used to be the size of rooms. Now you've got computers in your hands. Do you know what I'm saying? The mobile phone that I'm using at the moment to do this video is just a miniature computer. And how the internet affects us all. In good, showing the birth of new babies, birthday memories, people spending time with their loved ones, to the depravities of the internet, the deep web, child pornography, child trafficking, buying guns, drugs. Just thinking how I'm going to have to protect my children from the internet. Hello, my darling, how are you doing? Glad that you can watch my video. Hope you find it insightful. Because like I say, I remember no internet. No internet in our house, where I lived with my parents. Then we had the old dial-up internet, fucking forever. It was noisy as fuck to get on the internet. To broadband. And now we have this lovely, I don't myself, obviously, you guys know my internet connection is not that brilliant, but we have fibre optic internet, and that's the pace of the internet's changing. It seems that every device that you can buy nowadays connects to the fucking internet. The amount of information that we willingly put into these things, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, do you know what I'm saying? So much of our private information do we divulge, and we don't think about it at the time. No, don't get me wrong, my name, my date of birth, and everything else is in this CIA experiment called Facebook. But you have to sometimes go along the channels of the devil's advocate to get the message out there. I only have Facebook and YouTube because, one, I'm allowed to find stories that the mainstream media doesn't want to show on Facebook. It takes you on to alternative media sources. Horrible place, the deep web. It is. But see, I could say, and you can say that it's a horrible place, and then the word horrible will soon be exchanged once you dive deeper into it. It gets worse. The internet's a brilliant thing. Don't get me wrong. It's revolutionised the way we are as a species. It's revolutionised the way that we can communicate with people. Don't get me wrong. I believe it's taken the human aspect away. Do you know what I'm saying? We've come to a society of you could be standing next to your mate and you'll be messaging them on Facebook. There's no talking face to face anymore. Even with the camera here in front of you, it's not face to face anymore. There's no human interaction. There's no hugs. There's no. Do you know what I'm saying? The internet is good, but it has removed the human aspect away from our lives. Hermits. I don't know if you people understand what I mean by hermits. People that live in their houses. I remember old people locking themselves into their houses and and that, and everybody used to go, "Oh, look at that person locking themselves in the house away from people." You do it nowadays, you know. You can get anything you want these days sent to your front door. You know, you don't have to go out. You don't have to have a life anymore. Sorry, guys, I've got a runny nose. It's absolutely diabolical. I believe the levels of THC or the good shite from cannabis is wearing off in my system. I seem to be getting ill. No feelings or emotions. No, there are no feelings or emotions anymore. You know, I spoke in my last video about the 5th of November, the Million Mast March. And I really would love for, you know, you guys to open up to me, so to speak. You know, the people that go to Glasgow this year. I'd love to get, I say interviews, but all I want is for for you to tell me why you're here. You know, why you were at the event. Obviously, what brought you here? Maybe what sparked your wake up from the Matrix. Because not many people I see open themselves up like I do. Yes, I open myself up to scrutiny. I open myself up to people's negativity. But I also get opened up to people's positivity, like you guys here. You know, you don't have to watch, you don't have to like, you don't have to do anything. But, you know, you guys do make me feel honoured by the fact that, you know, you are the same as I am. You bleed the same as I bleed. Hope to be there. Good to meet you. Speak a lot of truth. No, thank you, Linda. Yes, some people have told me the same thing. I do speak a lot of truth. In my mind, I'm not speaking the truth. There is no truth and there are no lies in the way that I see things. We have been trained or taught up to now. 500 years ago, wake me up. I was in a bubble before that. I don't ever censor myself on topics, but the Scottish referendum, I think, is one of them topics that I will keep from voicing my opinion on, because one, obviously, I'm English. I live in Scotland, but I'm not Scottish born. I do have a Scottish born son. He was born in your beautiful land. But I don't feel I have, I wouldn't say the right, or do you know what I mean, to comment on the Scottish referendum. I don't give a monkey's who's in charge, whether whether Scotland separates from England, Wales separates from England, Cornwall separates from England, or England separates from England. You will always have people telling you what to do. You will always have people telling you what is in your best interest. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you. I understand what you're saying, but I'm not. Because obviously if I was to voice my opinion, or my own personal opinion on the Scottish referendum, I believe many of you may take offence, which you should take offence. Obviously I'm English, I'm the imperialistic, symbolisation of what has driven you to this point. If the English had treated the Scottish the same, I wouldn't say that the English treat the English especially good, but you know what I mean? If we treated everybody how we want to be treated, regardless of what fucking country or nationality or piece of cloth with ink on it that we fly, I think the world would be a better place. I personally think it's bigger than just independent Scotland or a fight with England. I see it being bigger than that. It's all about where you reside. I reside on planet Earth, Andrew, as you know. Um, I don't see borders. I honestly don't see nationality. Unfortunately, I see skin colour because obviously I'm not colourblind, but I don't see it in the sense of you're Chinese, you're an African American, you're Syrian, you're American, you're British, you're Scottish. I don't see any different on that level. I only see the metaphorical level. But I can see what's inside you. I can see the good, the love, the hope, the compassion that everybody has. Your vessels don't interest me. What your mind and your soul resonates is what gets to me. As long as you fight for what you believe in, you don't let people tell you that you are wrong for believing what you do. It's the world that needs sorting. Yes, it is the world that needs sorting, but we all play a part in it. You know, it's. I used to think, why me? Why should I, get myself involved? Why should I be, the instigator, if you know what I mean? But someone has to. Someone has to be the first one to fall, the first one to stand, whatever you want to call it. Give me a sec, I'm just reading through your comments, guys. Andrew, and unfortunately, there is borders if you don't see them. We choose to live in this part of the world to get your say. Too much wars and corruption around the world, but you care where your children are. I do. But it's like I say, you guys do understand what I mean. Most people have their views, their opinions because of things that have happened to them. I can tell you that 9/11 started me on my journey. I don't know if I've ever told anyone. Obviously, you guys. If I've never told anybody, I can't remember. My memory's not as good as it used to be. But if I have told people before, obviously you'll know. But here we go. 9/11 is what started me on my path. I come home from school. My father was at home in the front room. He was watching, I believe it was the BBC, and it kept on replaying the first plane and the second plane going into the towers. And I just thought to myself, this is a fantastic movie. Young and naive and everything that I was back then. I saw what happened. And my father told me that it wasn't a movie. It was real. That it had happened. That 3,000 people, well, obviously at that point, I didn't know it was 3,000 people, but that people had died. And then slowly but surely, as I went through, my education, I couldn't stop thinking about not why it happened, because back then I wasn't interested in why, but how it could happen. How easy, how evil it was for two planes to crash into buildings, and for them people, their light to be extinguished. And how easy it was for the years that then happened after, for it to be a floodgate for more death. Because I had a lot of respect, for a child at that age, for his government, for the police, for keeping us safe and everything else. And then I saw 9/11, and I saw these planes, and I thought to myself, right, well, we're going to have to do something. We can't let this happen again. And we did. We invaded the country and killed people because we felt that because you had killed ours, we could kill yours. And I knew it wasn't right. Just something in me just didn't resonate properly. I knew it wasn't right. I couldn't support the killing of innocent people. And I don't mean innocent by women and children or the elderly, but that the saying, one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. We look at everything that goes on in the world, whether it be the Syrian crisis, or the Palestinian crisis, or what's been happening in Africa, the Mexican drug cartels, how easy they find it to extinguish people's lives, and how it inflames more death. You know, death cannot pay for life. Death is just death. It's the end. And slowly but surely we've softened ourselves, if that's the right word, to believing that, you know, this is the normal. Sorry, Linda, for making you cry. UK is ISIS. But do you know what I mean, guys? The story that started me on my journey. Okay, it didn't, you know, the Rastafarian side of me was always there. It's always been there since I was 13, 14 years old, when I fell in love with mankind. Because everybody goes through that, you know. I don't know who I am. I don't know who I want to be. What am I here for? What is the meaning of it all? Don't get me wrong, I did that. And then I come to the realisation, I'm here to save my planet. And the reason I'm here to save my planet is because people before me wanted to save my planet. I wanted to save my race. And my brothers and sisters, whether you walk on 2 feet, whether you work on 4, whether you fly, whether you sliver on your belly, we're all connected, whether we like it or not. You know, to the people outside, you know, outside my home, outside my town, outside my country. You can be angry. You know, anger is a natural thing. But just remember, for your anger, for your animosity, is my love, is my peace, is my understanding. I don't want everybody in the world to become bestest friends and hug each other, and because that's not going to happen in my lifetime. It really isn't. But I can work with you and with my kids, and when they're older and they hopefully have kids and give me grandkids, I can to try and build a better world, however small, however big, because we are free. We were born free, so we should live free. We shouldn't have people telling us what's in our best interest. I'm a Rastafarian. I enjoy smoking cannabis. It's not because, I don't know, all the negatives to it. You know, it's lazy and this, that and the other. Don't get me wrong. I know lazy people that drink coffee. Lazy people that smoke cigarettes. Lazy people that take aspirins when they get headaches. But I don't tell them that, you know, they're wrong. But they feel that they have the right to tell me what I do, say or think is wrong. You know, don't get me wrong, I can understand that none of you, and I do mean this not in a selfish or nasty way, none of you will understand half of the stuff that goes on in my head. The same as I won't understand half the stuff that goes on inside your heads. But I can try. You know, I'm trying. I'm trying to do my bit for obviously mankind. I'm using 5th of November as a good start point to help. if I've put out in a post, if there's any of you that are unable to make it to London or to Aberdeen or to Edinburgh or to Leeds or to Manchester or Inverness or wherever else there's going to be, an assembly, send me any information, posters, banners, flags, information, and I will do my best to get to the relevant people that can take it to events so we can get the word out there. Because at the end of the day, I know how frustrating it is to have all this love, peace and unity that you want to spread and unable to do it. I know how that feels. I haven't been to a actual protest, a Million Mast March proper protest since 2013. I did attend No Trident protest, as my videos on YouTube and Facebook will show, not so long ago. But do you know what I mean? It was a protest, it was a gathering, an assembly, but it wasn't to the magnitude of 5th of November. My understanding of the 5th of November was always an anonymous gig, really. In the years that I've been watching it grow and blossom, it's turned into a meeting point. You don't have to be part of Anonymous or believe in any ideology that the Anonymous believes in. It'll be your first. Well, I would love to meet you there, Linda, and so I can show you and be. Well, I don't want to be a guide. Do you know what I'm saying? That might cripple your opinion of the 5th of November. But do you know what I'm saying? We all come together. We all share love. Obviously, you're going to get a few bad apples. You always do. I think there's going to be a lot of people there working for the state that are there to instigate problems. We just need to do our best to navigate to the positives and repel the negatives. But yeah, I am who I am. I will always be who I am. I've wondered to myself several 100 million times, could I be anyone different? I could. I could be spiteful, vindictive, be a hard cunt to the world, let live, and what dies, dies, but that'd be against me. Yeah. It's just finding people that you resonate with. It's like I was saying with the Scottish referendum thing. There's going to be a lot of that there. That doesn't mean that I'm going to try and space myself away from it, but obviously I believe I'll use that opportunity to find out more. I'm not interested in the pamphlet crap, do you know what I'm saying? I'm more interested in the personal view. It'd be, Linda, camera in front of you, why do you believe an independent Scotland would be better than this? Do you know what I'm saying? Because anybody can print statistics on a piece of paper, anybody can back a political party because they think they're going to get what they want, but they don't. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be negative towards Nicola Sturgeon, but Nicola Sturgeon is exactly the same as every other political leader, regardless of party, regardless of mandates. They are all confounded by their own little bits and pieces. They all have the bits that they have more emphasis towards and less influence towards. And I'm not saying that Nicola Sturgeon shouldn't go for fucking independent Scotland, or SNP shouldn't, or the Scottish people shouldn't go ahead and try and proceed with an independent Scotland. You should do what you guys feel is right, but it's not for me. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not my bag. Don't believe in indie for politics for the country, but it's. See, this is what I didn't want to get into. I didn't want to get into the Scottish indie thing because it's not my bag. I've got people around me on the scheme that I live on that are 100% independent Scotland, but fucking hate the SNP. But then I have people on the other way around, they like the SNP and don't want an independent Scotland. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't see the point of either of it. If you want it, take it. I don't know of many countries that have asked for their independence and actually got it, but I know of a lot of countries that have taken their independence. Do you know what I'm saying? I will say one thing on the whole Scottish fucking independent bag. This whole legal tender bollocks where you can't spend Scottish notes in England, or for instance, if you take a Scottish £10 note into a bank or a bureau de exchange, they'll give you like £9.40 and take 60p for changing it. Or you go into a shop and they sit there and argue the toss about the tenner, or the 20 quid, or whatever it is. Do you know what I'm saying? You don't want the money, that's fine, don't take the fucking money. You know, it's simple. But the money on it says pound sterling, exactly the same money, it's like piece of paper, because it's not money, I keep saying money, but it's not money, it's the same piece of paper that the English use. And anyone else that uses paper currency, you know, it's all fraudulent, it's all fake, it's all mass produced, so it don't really matter what picture's on it. The only reason I think that the English have a problem with taking it is because their reptile queen is not on it. And as long as if it has their reptile queen on it, they'll take it. Do you know what I'm saying? Bow down and lick, you know. But if it ain't, they ain't interested. You know, to be perfectly honest, I enjoy looking at the Scottish money. It has a lot more, you know, beautiful pictures on it, a lot more artistic than just sticking a queen's head on something. It's a little bit fucking boring now. But yeah, I've ranted and raved for a little while, guys. I actually better get back to normality, back to sorting out. Totally agree. It's all UK currency and it's all paper money, darling. But like I say, guys, give me comments, give me likes. Go check me out on YouTube, Gary Son of David. No one so far has asked me why it's Gary Son of David. Maybe, you know, someone will crop up and ask me one day. So as usual, guys, enjoy your day. Spread love, peace and understanding. Peace.